Have you ever wanted to be an unstoppable killing machine of mass destruction, where a simple wave of your hand will leave your enemies decimated? Well, the answer may lie within the secrets of the Grand Line and its mysterious devil fruits. They are said to be aspects of the devil himself, for you see, in exchange for your ability to swim, you can conjure fire, control gravity, time itself, and become rubber? Hello everyone, I'm Noble Absinthe, and today I'll be going over the top 10 devil fruits in One Piece. I was considering limiting this to a pre-time skip list, but forget that. One Piece isn't going anywhere anytime soon, so let's use whatever we got. For the most part, I'm looking at these fruits macroscopically. There's a lot to choose from, and I did look at every single fruit, mostly within a bubble. So much so, I think I could make several lists of devil fruits, for example, like best of, worst of, best combat, best utility, etc., etc. This is my opinion after all, so feel free to tell me what your favorite devil fruit is right in the comment section below, and consider subscribing. It helps me out a lot. Number 10. The Kira Kira no Mi, or the Sparkle Devil Fruit. But let's be real, this is the Diamond Devil Fruit, and it was eaten by 3rd Commander of the Whitebeard Pirates, Jozu. It even earned him the title of Diamond Jozu. This paramecia fruit makes the user become diamond, as you would expect. While Jozu hasn't fought much in the series, we have seen him face block a slash from Dracul Mihawk, the strongest swordsman in the world. I think it's pretty clear why I put this on the list. Making yourself one of the most durable and indestructible materials on the planet. It's pretty sweet. Why bother being a Logia and dodge when you can just tank every single hit? It's my answer in Dark Souls. The only weakness of this fruit is if the user's an idiot. It's really the only weakness, because if you're an idiot, you let your guard down. I never understood why in anime the character with the best defense ever just goes all out, just full defense from the start. Like, reminds me a lot from Greed, from Full Metal Alchemist. You could have killed Bradley had you just gone full man mode, but I guess that's unfair, that's a different anime. All Jozu displayed, as far as we can see, is a near instant speed reaction timing to coating his body in diamond. But since we've seen him get hurt from Aokiji, it's clear that his body isn't purely made of diamond like Katakuri is made of mochi. Instead, he's similar to Magellan, who secretes it from his pores. It also appears that Jozu is able to somewhat move in his diamond body, as seen with his redirect of the strongest slash in the world, but again, we can't be 100% sure. It's kind of the weakness of Jozu right now, is that he just doesn't have enough screen time. But even if the Diamond Devil Fruit restricted all of his movements, I don't think it would matter that much. Remember, he's just a dude made of diamond. He's an unkillable unit on the battlefield. Number 9. The Hobi Hobi, the Ato Ato, and the Washu Washu no Mi. In respective order, that makes them the Hobby or Toy Devil Fruit, the Art Fruit, and the Washing Devil Fruit, eaten by these respective people because they don't matter. All these fruits are high-octane nightmare fuel, more so the toy one, as it was essentially the sole thing that ruined Kairos' life. Being turned into a toy will have your existence erased from the minds of everyone who knew you. So on top of being rendered useless, and albeit it depends on the toy, you are also psychologically broken. This fruit is incredible, as you can generate armies of toys from your victims and be nigh untouchable. Oh, and it stops you from aging. That kind of edges it up beyond the other two. When it comes to devil fruits and their usefulness, I'm looking at their abilities beyond just raw power. So while Jozu might hit, really, really hard and can't be hurt, if he makes contact with sugar, he's done. The problem with this devil fruit is that you can just shoot the user, with a gun, or hit him with a stick until they die. Or you can do what Usopp did and just put them into a coma by scaring the absolute shit out of them. This devil fruit also has the limitations of you have to make physical contact with your opponent. The Art Fruit and the Washing Fruit are sort of in the same boat, but they're a more lateral shift and move, and I couldn't put one above the other without really splitting hairs. You see, with the Art Fruit, you're given access to a ranged attack in the form of an Art Cloud, and you can essentially render the opponent useless by the same means as the hobby toy fruit does. And, as a bonus, you're given access to this giant mural form to overpower your opponent. That is until they plow right through you with a Gao cannon. The washing fruit is absolutely terrifying though. If the user has any basic form of observation hockey, which, a vice admiral who has this fruit must have to be a vice admiral, you become a scary monster of hand-to-hand combat. You turn people into harmless clothes, and on top of that, you wash away a bit of the evil from them. Now, as the audience, we aren't told if this reformation is truly good or just run-of-the-mill brainwashing, but as you can see, these gag devil fruits have serious connotations. But they all seem dependent on hockey because, as I said earlier, without it, you just get shot. But if you have a defend the castle type strategy, these fruits would be, in theory, unstoppable. Number 8. The Gasu Gasu no Mi, or the Gas Gas fruit. Oh, the first of the Logias. Well, I actually think you'd be surprised that there's not many of them on this list. Ever since the introduction of hockey, Logias that didn't have an innate, we would just call it a danger factor to them, were power crept out of this game. For example, in the fight with Smoker versus Virgo, it was shown that just being a guy with a hockey stick is enough to beat you senseless. Your devil fruit needs to have some added effect, so things such as magma, fire, and ice, they still have their use case since you can still attack with something actually painful or create dangerous terrain. Something as minimally dangerous as cigar smoke can be circumvented quite easily. However, this smoke, or gas, is one of those Logias with an added effect: poison. You see, unlike the ones I just listed, you can't really avoid this fruit. Smoke inhalation all around is dangerous, but with Caesar's use of this devil fruit, it's on another level. You will experience a severely painful erosion of your lungs, and contact with this gas, even with hockey, just forget it. You're going to be coated with such a cement-like substance that causes paralysis. But his abilities aren't limited to just a dangerous inhalant and cement gas. No, he has all the perks of controlling gas, such as removing all the oxygen in a controlled area to force a person to suffocate. That's nightmare-inducing right there. And he can ignite gas to make powerful explosions. And if Walking Dead has taught me anything, oxygen explosions are not to be fucked with. He also gets a lightsaber. I just like lightsabers. It's cool. I'm sure some of you will draw the comparisons to Magellan and his Venom devil fruit. But you see, Magellan can still be hurt by physical attacks, and the only attribute that surpasses Caesar is the toxicity level of his devil fruit. You see, Magellan poisoned Luffy, and he poisoned him hard. And with the aid of Ivankov and his weird hormone technique, Luffy was made poison-proof, as Caesar's gas had no effect on him. So I guess the logic would be Magellan's poison was just, a tier above Caesar's, and thus Luffy's unaffected. While I like Magellan a lot, I think a duel between him and Caesar would be a battle of skill rather than devil fruits. If Caesar can get Magellan into a sphere of no oxygen, then he wins. If Magellan can tag Caesar with his venom somehow, then he should win. Number 7. The Pika Pika no Mi, or the Glint Glint devil fruit. It's the light devil fruit. Alright, this is the second Logia on this list, and it goes to Borsalino Kizaru. This devil fruit is what I call an upper limit power, or equipped. Essentially, we are now at the point in this story where we're getting so strong with the devil fruit that we now have to dial it back by patching it in with the rise of hockey, or simply, do what most animes do and forget what the speed of light actually means. The speed of light is roughly 300,000 meters per second. That is 1,000 times faster than a speeding bullet, and roughly 25,000 times faster than Usain Bolt, the fastest man on planet Earth. Boom! Take that, Death Battle in game theory. I can make arbitrary comparisons too. This fruit would be much higher on this list because you are simply firing light particles at a speed so fast that humans can't react to it. But as we've seen with Luffy, If you have Haki, specifically observation Haki, your Devil Fruit becomes less impressive. That is until you just spam it everywhere and make it undodgeable. Honestly, Kizaru could have ended the entire Marineford War in a single attack if he wasn't such a bum. And as a fellow Italian, I can call him that. Kizaru, you're a bum. That's why they had to make Kuma bots with your DNA just to get shit done. This series is fucking awesome. Number 6, the Bari no Mi, or the Barrier Devil Fruit, eaten by Bartolomeo. All right, get your pitchforks down. Let me explain. This Devil Fruit is nuts. It's pure defense, and without Haki backing it up, it's able to block supersonic punches of mass destruction that was powerful enough to damage a Yonko. And as we've seen in One Piece, it takes a lot of force, like a ridiculous amount, or at least, a melancholic Yonko like Kaido, to have them take any reasonable damage. This shield is bullshit crazy strong. But how does it fare against all the other Devil Fruits? Well, you can just sit in it and it wins. Trust me, all the Devil Fruits beyond this point can defeat this fruit. And I'm sure there's some that aren't on this list that can also beat this fruit with some mental gymnastics and engineering, but this fruit's awesome. Bubble Boy here is just untouchable. It has all the benefits of pure defense like Jozu, but it also has ranged options. Logias can't dent it, explosions don't do anything, weapons can't scratch it, and as we've seen characters with piercing Haki attacks, they also can't do anything. Until we see something actually break his shield, the Barrier Devil Fruit is the best defense, and sometimes the best defense is the best offense. Number 5, the Opi no Mi, or the Operation Devil Fruit. This fruit can just instant kill Bartolomeo. Just TP him out of his shield and stab him. But seriously, how you gonna have a Devil Fruit literally having OP in its name twice and not have it be in the top 5? The Opi no Mi, or the Surgery Devil Fruit, or what have you, was consumed by Trafalgar D. Law. This Devil Fruit is kind of hard to describe since it does so much, but I guess the best way to describe it would be, imagine being a doctor who is also God. He's basically Shen from League of Legends. That's the best way to describe it. Law can create a sphere around him, and anything in there he has complete control over, and he also gets access to surgeon-themed attacks. I gotta put that in quotes. Like, he can make his thumbs into defibrillators to shock his opponent. He can X-ray scan inside of his sphere, and since he has complete control, he can warp anything he wants to him. He can also do this weird changing of hearts of people to swap their bodies. He can slice an entire island in half, and probably most of all, he could torture you really badly by cutting you up into bits and just gluing your remains to inanimate objects while you're still alive. That's like the inverse of Buggy's Devil Fruit. However, the ultimate effect of this fruit was kind of hard for me to quantify. You see, in exchange for your life, the life of the user, in this case, Law, he can bestow eternal life onto someone else. That means he's dead, right? If anyone knows with the trope Chekhov's gun, that just guarantees Law is gonna die at the end of One Piece. It's just a matter of time until someone is gonna force him to use that ability, and I'm guessing it's gonna be Luffy. I mean, Luffy did have to shorten his lifespan several times during his failed rescue of Ace. I know it's really rude, but come on, he was an ultimate failure. Thanks, Ace, for wasting Luffy's time. Who knows? I think you guys get the reason this Devil Fruit is so high on this list. It's just pure control. But it's limited to a sphere. But if Law can get you inside of his room, you're at a real disadvantage. I think the only way Law loses a fight is if he decides to style on his opponent. I mean, he has a lot of moves, but he simply can just remove your heart or slice off all your limbs and just win. Doflamingo only really won because of plot, and this Devil Fruit is insanely good. Number 4, the Soru no Mi, or the Soul Fruit. Formerly eaten by Mother Caramel until she became a caramel delight of Big Mom. This Devil Fruit takes you to the next step of godhood. Where the Opi Opi no Mi made you like a god, you can control everything in a sphere, this fruit gives you the power to create life. Trees, flowers, books, pastries, the floor right below your feet, everything and anything you are able to imbue your will onto and make it come to life. Essentially, you have an army always at the ready. This devil fruit is insanely powerful, as you can take soul fragments, if not the entire soul, from just anybody. Really, there's no limitations to this devil fruit. It's all up to your imagination. Big Mom was able to control storms with Zeus, a cloud she imbued a soul into, and she's able to control monstrous flames through a pocket sun known as Prometheus. Do you want a giant bullet bill looking sword that can extend for your pleasure? Yeah. The limitations are not there. You can do whatever you want. This fruit's bullshit. And what really sets it over the top, what really puts this above a lot of other devil fruits, is its synergy with other devil fruits. For example, one of her many sons, Perospero, he's got a candy-themed devil fruit. He can control candy, he can make like taffy or what have you. And she, Big Mom, can put a soul into the candy he can produce. Now, imagine the synergy that she would have, just the true, genuine, evil idea of combining just a little bit of soul with a little bit of Caesar's gas. Now that's fucking terrifying. The major weakness of this fruit is if there's a strong enough soul to fight back against you. So unless you're fighting against Brooke, you're probably going to be okay. Number 3, the Juku Juku no Mi, or the Time Decay fruit. This fruit is brand new, and the main reason it's here is because I'm using outside logic for it. Yes, I'm sorry, but the power of this devil fruit reminded me a lot of a character I like a lot from another series, Baki from Bleach. His power was the exact same thing. He had the power to age anything. And with age comes experience. And beyond that, nothingness. Everything will decay away into the fabric of history. So while this may have cheesed its way to the top of the list, you can't deny this power is scary good. All the fruits prior to this would have been aged into nothingness, except for numbers 2 and 1. And speaking of which, the Nikyu no Mi, also known as the Pawpaw fruit. This was consumed by one of the most forgotten, but probably the most influential and important characters in the series, Bartholomew Kuma. This devil fruit gives the user paws that are permanently engraved into the user's palms, making this devil fruit always active unless they wear gloves. How are they not affected? What does it do? It reflects everything. It reflects all incoming attacks, whether they be a punch, kick, sword, laser, and even devil fruit powers can be reflected. The user is essentially untouchable, and anything else that this fruit can do, I would consider just a cherry on top. You see, he can reflect air to make a makeshift force push from Star Wars. He can create repulsion air bombs that practically one-shot a giant. And, oddest of all, he can reflect out a user's pain to make deadly spheres of absolute pain that can be absorbed by another person. This man, this cyborg bear man, and his devil fruit made 2 of the best scenes in the entire series of One Piece. One of which was with Zoro. To test the mettle of the Straw Hat crew, Zoro just eats all of Luffy's pain. And the other hyper badass scene that Kuma was a part of is that with his devil fruit, he was able to one by one decimate the Straw Hat crew. By repelling them a set distance, he essentially teleported the entire crew to places best suited for their talents. So after 2 years of training, they can survive the new world. There's a reason he holds that Bible, because the Lord works in mysterious ways. Bartholomew Kuma is the god of One Piece as far as I'm concerned, or at the very least Jesus, which I guess depending on your religion would make him God. But with every god, there is a devil, there is a Satan, the Lucifer. There is number 1, the Yami no Mi, or the Darkness Devil Fruit. Consumed by the one and only Blackbeard, Marshall D. Teach. You see, Kuma's Devil Fruit can reflect everything and anything but this fruit. The Darkness Devil Fruit is a Logia type with many inbuilt conditions, even one that makes it an exception to other Logias. Praise Haki. But even without the need of Haki, the Yami Yami no Mi can cancel out other Devil Fruit powers, making their victim into a regular person. This Devil Fruit essentially makes the user into a Devil Fruit Slayer, since the darkness he controls makes it so he can drag people into the abyss. It even self-combos people, come on. He becomes a focal point of gravity into an infinite darkness. He can devour anything, from people to an entire village to the biggest attack Ace could throw, which was the goddamn sun, and even other Devil Fruit powers in their entirety. Yes, you didn't mishear me. This Devil Fruit makes the user immune to the rules of other Devil Fruits. You see, a regular person like you or me is meant to eat only one Devil Fruit. Eating another will cause the user to die. Now, we don't exactly know how this works. It's either a heart attack, or exploding, or maybe some extreme diarrhea. This Devil Fruit, however, makes the user into a being of pure greed, a void, to become more and more powerful. Whatever Blackbeard did under that tarp with Whitebeard is uncertain. Maybe he ate his heart or stole his soul like Big Mom. No one knows. All we know for sure is that Blackbeard has control over the Gura Gura no Mi now. A Devil Fruit capable of creating such force, it can shake the planet. And with the access to darkness, he can just become more and more powerful. This might sound sick of me, but I hope Sabo dies to him, hopefully in a dramatic way, so Blackbeard can truly become Satan. He'll have access to darkness and flames and shake the planet. He'll be a lot like Shin Megami Tensei up in here. But yes, Blackbeard has the best Devil Fruit. You simply can't get better than negating other people's powers, dark holing everything in sight, and just being able to steal your opponent's powers at the end of it. He was hard stuck at number 1, and now I'm pretty sure I'm going to get a lot of angry Whitebeard and Kaido fans in the comment section below, but that's just par for the course. Well, that was my list for the most powerful Devil Fruits in One Piece. There were a lot that just couldn't make it onto the list. I was debating putting Brook on here, but it's actually unclear how his works. He's either immortal, or he's just got a really long extension on life. Doflamingo was another one. He has a very powerful Devil Fruit, but the other ones on this list have options and are, I think, objectively better. Like I said, Law essentially has his fruit, but better. And Luffy's Goma Goma no Mi, while it's the poster boy of the series, it was practically designed to be an underdog Devil Fruit. It's not the worst. By no means is it bad. It's just kind of a balanced Devil Fruit. Well, tell me, what do you guys think is the best Devil Fruit? Or just tell me what your favorite one is in the series. Personally, I would love to have Brook's Yomi Yomi no Mi. Being immortal sounds pretty awesome, and, you know, just let's forget about the whole your friends and family die part. Aokuiji would be pretty nice too. You have no idea how hard. I was about to say how cool would it be to have the Ice Devil Fruit. Am I gay? You would always have cool drinks at the ready, and, you know, I prefer my coffee cold. Why haven't they made a coffee Devil Fruit? They made mochi. Missed opportunities. Anyway, feel free to comment below on what videos you'd like to see in the future. I do read all the comments and I do highlight them. And with that being said, have a good day. I have been trying to record this video for literally weeks now. My computer crashed and I had to bring it in to nearby shop. Don't ever buy a Wi-Fi adapter if you can help it. Always go hardwired, because fucking cost me $81 to be told you needed to update your driver. That was a bitch.